I certainly think it is a risk for your team to see the numbers in the business, see the revenue, and think to themselves, I would like to be paid more, particularly if you're going to share the net profit number, because they'll probably have an idea of what you're taking home as pay. Because if you're a sole founder, sole operator in a business, that's, effectively becomes your pay. As you grow and as you scale, the business will reach a point where the numbers feel so big that people feel a bit of a disconnect with them, like $1 million of revenue to someone who's earning $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. It will just seem like such an astronomically large amount of money. They may have like the bit of resentment arise on a psychological level with you, the business owner, but they're probably not going to equate you like earning $1 million. Or another way of looking at it is they might think you're earning crazy amounts of money or earning millions of dollars or more than the reality that is actually true. And you may be resented regardless. So I choose to share with my team all of the numbers, including the profit, including exactly how much I'm taking home. Having an international team, there's the additional, overhead or additional factor that you're in different economies. And so someone who's earning $10,000 a year Australian as a salary and sees that, we have had a dividend of nearly $500,000 in the business that's going to me, that's an astronomically different amount of money. My main, rebuke for team members who may feel hard done by, disenfranchised, or uncomfortable with disparity in executive compensation and compensation for someone who's a frontline worker in the business is that the investment in equity that I put into the business and actually founding it, in that it took me 10 years to build it before there was a profit. I'm going bald. Before I was 30, I'd basically lost my hair. That's what I can very comfortably say that is the difference between someone who's the founder of a business and the shareholder of a business and holds that responsibility versus someone who's just come in as an employee. Is that going to fly with everyone? I don't know. Is it going to quench the resentments of someone? Is it going to quell the resentments of someone? I don't know. But what I do know is I would rather err on the side of transparency and let people like me or hate me, whatever they like, because I value that and I like running the business that way. What that does is, in my opinion, it builds trust with the team because there's no risk of them feeling like they are being ripped off or anything like that. There's less risk of the team feeling disconnected because they just have no idea what's going on with the finances. I think what it's going to promote is you and your team working together on results, everyone being duly compensated for that. Now, of course, you do need to be duly compensating your team. You need to be paying them fair market wages. You can't be paying them less than a market wage and then in the same sentence be saying to them, well, I'm a CEO and I deserve to get a CEO market wage. You need to make sure that everyone is receiving a fair market wage. And, also you have the privilege of being the business owner taking a CEO salary. Well, a professional CEO salary in Australia might be 150, 200, 250,000, depending on the size of the business. And so being able to share that with them, well, this is my salary for me being a CEO in the business, plus the dividends, which are the reward for being the investor and the founder of the business. You can comfortably take out a very decent salary without looking egregious. And my recommendation would be is that you have that exact conversation with your team and let them know, hey, this is the market rate for a senior executive in a business of this kind, of this size. It's market rate, and everyone in our business gets paid market rate. That's only fair. Oh, and by the way, guys, the 5 years that I spent building it, where me personally, I was earning $40,000 a year and eating 2-minute noodles, I'm making up for some of those years in earning a little bit more now. I sleep fine at night with that perspective. There is a whole book written on this if you want to go a little bit more into it or you want to listen on the road or something like that. It's called The Great Game of Business. I recommend the book. I like it. But that's the key concept. Sharing these numbers with your team will empower them to actually be involved in helping to build the business because it's going to benefit everyone. You may choose little add-ons like, employee share plans are getting a bit sophisticated, but things like team bonuses if you hit goals. I'd be very careful with profit shares because once you set them up, removing or changing them can be a bit contentious. But minimum, sharing the numbers with your team and getting them on board and having a mechanism where everybody gets rewarded when you hit the strategic goals in the business, not necessarily the financial goals, but the strategic goals in the business. That's going to be something that will likely breed more team engagement and participation in helping you to improve the business financially. Hope that helps.